good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. I'm very happy to see all of you here today because today we're gonna know actually how to get an offer from Bain and pace the case part with our amazing coaches Andrea Hamelenko and Gaurav Bhosle. We will also have our candidate Rishin, so please very warm welcome to them, okay? And before we're gonna start our webinar, I would like to introduce myself first. So I'm Alessia. I'm a client manager from Consulting Masters. Today I'm going to moderate this webinar. And let me just share with you this Christmas vibe. So you can see this beautiful Christmas tree that I decorated for you here today for the webinar. So you can enjoy the view. And I hope that you can also feel the smell from the tree and also feel this Christmas vibe. Okay. So yeah, let me tell you the agenda for our today's webinar. The duration just 60 minutes. And in the beginning, we're going to speak about Bain Company. Then we will do interactive case part. After, we will tell you about our value proposition. After that, we're going to share with you our special bonuses that we save for you. And yes, stay with us till the end, okay? And in the end of the webinar, we're going to do interactive Q&A session. So please, guys, feel free to write down into the Zoom chat all of your questions about consulting, about Bain, everything that bothering you. Because in the end, our coach is going to answer all of your questions. And it's a unique opportunity for you to speak with them today, right? And yes, I'm Lesia. Most of you already know me. And in case you have any questions, you know what to do, right? Perfect. So now let me introduce our amazing coaches, our beautiful experts. And please welcome Chief Coach Gaurav Bhosle. Gaurav has 6 years of strategy consulting experience in Europe, MENA, and Asia, working in more than 15 industries and more than 20 countries. He is a full-time career coach since 2013, with more than 500 clients already working in top consulting firms, including more than 200 clients recently working at MBB. And also, I would like to add that Gaurav, he's an ex-McKinsey, and he's an ex-strategy consultant. Gaurav grew from entry-level to senior manager in just 6 years. And last but not least, Gaurav is an ICF certified career transition coach and entrepreneur with 2 successful startups and owns a recruiting firm. So it's our Gaurav Bhosle. And now let's move further to Mark Allers. He's a senior coach of Consulting Masters. So Mark is an engagement manager at Kearney with fast-track promotion from consultant to engagement manager in just 3 years. He is a recruiting team member and trained interviewer for Kearney Dutch with 60+ interviews days for interns, business analysts, and MBA PhD recruiting completed up to date. Also, Mark is an NCI Wharton MBA candidate, class 2022. Educated at MIT Sloan and Hull International Business School with professional track record across Europe, the United States, and Africa. And also more than 38 mentees from Oxford, Cambridge, and EY business schools and other universities coached by Mark already received consulting offers. So please welcome Mark Allers. And now let me introduce last but not of course least, our amazing Andrea Hamelenko, CEO of the Consulting Masters. Andrea, hello, I can see you now. Yeah, and since 2014, Andrea has been coaches, has mentees to help them receive offers from the top consulting firms worldwide. He is an ex-senior manager in the industry and occupied a position of an acting project manager at Roland, Berger and Munich, Kiev, and Dubai. He was part of the recruiting team and interviewed more than 115 candidates on different positions in these regions. Andre made a fast-track career from a consultant to acting project manager in just 17 months. Guys, can you believe it? Just 17 months, while it took his peers 5 to 6 years to do the same. Also, I would like to say that Andrea has more than 7 of international consulting experience and has successfully completed more than 30 projects in more than 10 countries across the globe. So please, very welcome, Andrea Hamelenko. So guys, now I shared with you our amazing, beautiful coaches that not just coaches and ex-consultants, but they were part of the recruiting team. So they definitely know the whole process. I hope that with their help, you will definitely receive an offer from the top consulting firm. And before I'm gonna pass the word to Andrea, let me just invite you to our social media on LinkedIn, Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Please follow us, find us as a Consulting Masters, follow our news about consulting, about MBB's cases, and also, guys, at our social media, you can share with us your feedback, ask your questions, and everything, okay? So now I'm very excited about this webinar. I hope that you are too. Let's get started. So Andrea, I pass the word to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Alessa. Thank you for this great introduction. Also, on my behalf, I just want to say hi to everyone. I am so glad to see you here. I've already seen that we have people from all over the world. I mean, now from Boston, from East Coast, basically from South America, from North America, from Europe, from Asia, from different parts of Asia. Yeah, such a unique public here. And I'm so excited to host this webinar for you together with our team. So yeah, feel free to get the best out of it, because today you will be having a unique opportunity to speak to two consultants, as we both spent probably roughly 12 years in consulting, and we would like to share so many tips and tricks with you. All right. Cool. So now let's get it started. I mean, many of you have already seen those slides. I'm just extremely happy that most recently, like over the past few months, 13 of our mentees have already received 27 job offers from all major consulting firms such as McKinsey, Bain, Strategy and Kearney, Roland Berger, Oliver Wyman, EY-Parthenon, and many, many other consultants. And let me also give you just showcase to you two of them. So on the next page, you will see Edward. And Edward, he approached us when he didn't have business background. And he came to me, he gave me a call like, Andrea, I have a call from Roland Berger, an interview in 9 days. I know it might be just too late, but can you still help me out? And that guy, unfortunately, he studied politics and international relationships. So he didn't even have that business background. And it was very challenging for him to, first of all, to understand the nature of business, then to understand the nature of consulting and to get ready for consulting interviews, which are very specific in a very short time frame. And what we did with him, our team, our expert team, we helped him with a very comprehensive and a very intense training. So, I mean, it was a lot of home tasks and to-dos, and we were meeting 2 to 3 hours on the daily basis. But we are almost done like something impossible because the interviewer recommended him to postpone the interview for another couple of months. But I'm very happy to announce that he made it. And actually, just within 7 days of preparation, which we had, thanks for your applause, Diego, highly appreciate it. He now joined Roland Berger in Dubai last month. And I'm extremely happy about it. So he made me, he made himself, he made our entire team very happy. And just imagine how speechless was the interviewer and the recruiter who gave him that advice about his performance. So this is one of the greatest examples, which should also give you an overview that even if you don't come from civil engineering or business background, you could still make it. I mean, just be like, everything is possible. But of course, you need to put a lot of hard work into that. And I also want to share with you another example. I was just chatting with Fernando because I want to send him Christmas gifts. So Fernando is also a good friend of Rishin. And Rishin, Fernando asked to cheer you up for your very first webinar tonight, since Fernando has actually practiced quite a lot of webinars with us in May. And Fernando is coming from the same business school as Rishin from IAC. And we also have very good relationship. So just to cut the long story short, Fernando joined McKinsey in Panama last month. And, I would rather give an opportunity, Fernando, to speak about our program, if you don't mind. So I will be silent and let him speak for himself about his experience of working with us.
My name is Fernando. I am a recent VIP program graduate and an incoming McKinsey consultant. When I met Andrea, I was working full-time in a job. I actually wanted to go into consulting, but I couldn't make it because of the COVID, because of my lack of preparation, because of whatever. But I had three main problems. I had no more network. I had no expert advice or coaching. It was difficult to find good information how the process was for each one of the companies that I wanted to apply to. In their program, I learned a lot about the case to master the stress during an interview, how to master the case, and to prepare very well and very specific points about the fit. If you have any of the pain points that I have, I really recommend you to join. The return on investment is totally worth it. You will not only get the offer, but you will also have this long-term valuable relationship to take the next step and join the group. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessa, for sharing this with us. Amazing. So there is just one thing which you need to know. So Rishin is a good friend of Fernando. And Fernando got so much convinced about our program that he actually recommended Rishin to join our program as well. And now we are working with Rishin towards helping him to get his offers as well. So after you become our clients, you will be our best brand ambassadors. I'm pretty sure about it. And these relationships have always been so much important for me. That's why we have also prepared some of the gifts for you, especially for those who will be staying until the end with us. So let's get it started. Yeah, just be like Fernando. Just simply do it. All right, let's go. So on the content part, today we would like to talk to you about 5 major parts in that webinar, or maybe just 4 of them. I just want to briefly explain you what is the structure of the interview process at Bain and what are the most typical mistakes which most of the candidates are making. Unfortunately, 99% of the candidates will not make it to Bain or McKinsey or BCG, Strategy and or other leading consulting firms. And I'm pretty sure that each one of you in that webinar should be aware about those mistakes so that you can avoid them. Then later on, we will be simulating the first interview round at Bain, and specifically, it's also a case part. And afterwards, at the end of the webinar, we will also showcase to you the value proposition, how we can help you to navigate through this. And we will be also very happy to answer all your questions. So now let's get it started with the content part. I just really want to explain to you what are the 5 simplest steps how you can solve the case, which is something that we want to focus with you today. There is a very typical process. First, you hear, and you will also see it into practice right now. So the interviewer asks you a prompt. Your task as a candidate is, first of all, paraphrase this question. Okay, it's very important in the step number 1 and number 2 that you fully understand the initial situation and what are the objectives of the case. Because if you don't understand the initial situation, or if you're not clear about the objectives, you would not be able to solve the case. It doesn't really make sense for you to progress to outlining the structure or doing the next steps. So just make sure at the very beginning that you have a solid basis and that you really understood the case and what are the objectives. Afterwards, it's of course outlining the case structure and then solving it bucket by bucket, and then at the end summing up your recommendations into a feasible solution and presenting it to the interviewer. So sounds good in theory, right? However, unfortunately, there are 5 most common mistakes which I have observed as an interviewer during the interview process when I was interviewing candidates for Roland Berger. Number 1, people do really underestimate the importance of the personal feed part of the interview. And they are coming to the case part already stressed because they didn't manage it properly on the feed part. They don't follow the process of the case solving. These 5 steps, people don't know them, people don't follow them. That's why they bomb it. They don't ask the clarifying questions, and hence they don't understand the case at the very beginning. Therefore, their structure is not missing, means that it's not exhaustive, it's not comprehensive, it's not good enough. And then it all results that most of the people, unfortunately, 9 out of 10 candidates in the interview, most probably they will not drive the case. They will leave it to the interviewer to drive the case. They will not be very active in that interview. And that's why, they will bomb it. That's why that is the outcome that they will not get an offer at that particular day. Now, I just want to let you know what is, in a nutshell, a very simple 5-step strategy of how to get an offer from Bain Company. There are just 5 very simple steps. First of all, you need to have an application strategy, as well as your very polished CV and cover letter to pass through the screening. Then networking is really helpful for you in terms of during your interview invites. And then step number 3 is to be ready for every step of the interview process for both personal feed and the case part of the interviews, and to train your emotional resilience to be at your best at that day. And then you only need to crack all 6 to 8 interviews to receive an offer. And the very best thing here is that we at Consulting Masters can support you through the entire value chain to help you to fully make it to the offer. Let's basically see what we have heard so far in theory, how that looks in practice. Ladies and gentlemen, do you feel that smell of grilling? Would you like to have some barbecue? Do you have an appetizer now? Now it's really going to something very tangible. So just look at those 2 gentlemen. Gaurav will be playing a Bain interviewer tonight, and Rishin will be our candidate. Please don't take Rishin too seriously. That poor guy, it's just his first webinar ever. And he has cracked 6 cases. So it will be his 7th. Even if he bomb it, and the chances are pretty high for that, it will be a great experience for him to experience it live, or he can even try to crack it. So, Rishan, how are you doing today? Are you ready to rumble the show?
Yes, I'm all excited. I think at least right now, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the friend of Rishan, Fernando, he used to be rambling a couple of our webinars in May and June this year and is now working at McKinsey. But it's first webinar for Rishan. Go with God, but go. I will leave you with Gaurav for the next 15 minutes. And I just want to ask everyone else, guys, could you please try to solve that case together with us? You're not here just for watching. I would be here active in the chat. And I also want to see, how do you solve this case? What kind of questions would you ask? What would be your structure? How would you be driving it? Rishan, take care.
Yes.
Hi, Rishi.
Hi, Gaurav.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Today, nice weather, huh?
Okay, good. Good to know that. Okay, let's see how the case experience goes. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so here is your case. It's also getting displayed on the screen. I'll just read it out. Our client is a privately owned hospital that offers high-tech surgical procedures. They would like to start using robots in their surgeries. Recently, a new surgical robot, Robot X, has been developed and has now been on the market for the last 6 months. This robot is supposed to be highly precise, and it also reduces the human work in the surgeries. Now, the question to you is, should our client invest in Robot X?
Got it. So to understand the criteria, the prompt first. So our client is a hospital, privately owned, and it's working on, it's evaluating whether we should be investing in this new robotics. And about this robotics, there is one particular product that is new in the market, which is very precise. And that's the only thing we know about, right, Tom? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So just to understand a bit more about this hospital. So where is this hospital anyway? So what market does it cater to?
Just for the sake of simplicity, let's call it US market.
Okay, US market. And about the right now. So how they do the surgery right now? It is just by human surgeons.
Yeah, absolutely. So see, not all surgeries are done using robot.
Okay.
So currently, they are using different methods, but not robots. So
got it.
Once the robot is introduced, some of the surgeries which qualify for that kind of surgery would be done using the robot.
Got it. And to understand whether we should be investing in this robot, what is the success criteria for our client? What is the client looking for?
Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So technology replacement cycle in this kind of robotic surgeries is around 10 years. Okay, so in 10 years the technology changes, or your current product gets outdated. Okay, so the minimum that our client is looking for is to have a break-even less than 10 year of break-even is something that they are looking for.
Got it. Perfect. So I think that will be it right now. Just one more question. How do they make the revenue? Is it through the customers or through the insurance? Does it matter at this stage?
What do you think? Does it really matter?
For me, no, I don't think so. Not right now.
Doesn't matter whether it's coming from the insurance or customer.
Yeah, sure.
As long as
So can I take a few minutes to structure my thought?
Yes, please.
Perfect. So Gaurav, how I want to answer this problem is first identifying the objective. The objective is, should we invest in robotics? And to answer this, I will look into 4 buckets. The first bucket is market. The second is customer preference. The third is financial. And the fourth is what I call feasibility. In the market, I will be looking into the type of surgeries that that can be solved by robotics, means that can be done by robotics, and the number of surgeries that we do in this way. In terms of customer preference, I would like to know, do they have a preference for robotic surgeries? And second part, I will also try to know about, can they afford robotic surgeries if it makes it expensive? About the financials, what I will look into is the delta change in revenue. Obviously, if there is a change in revenue, the delta change in cost, if there is a change in cost, and the investment that is associated. In terms of feasibility, I will look into, do we have the operational feasibility to have robotics in our surgery department? And do we have the financial capability to invest in robotics? So if you do not have any preference, what I start looking at is into the market segment to understand what kind of surgeries can be done by robotics and what is the percentage of the surgeries that we do.
Okay, fantastic. Very nice. Okay, so even before you go there, in terms of what kind of surgeries and what percentage of surgeries, etc. What I would like you to do is probably directly jump into financials. Okay.
Okay.
To evaluate the business case for the robotic surgery. Okay.
All right.
If you want, you can take time and think about how would you analyze it and come back with what's the approach that you will take.
Got it. So, Gaurav, when I look into the financials and now when I'm thinking about how to identify the quantum effect of this robotics, right? And when I'm thinking about the quantum effects, how I will look into it is that the number of surgeries that we do and the average dollar value of those surgeries. And then I will try to identify the percentage of the surgeries where we have a loss because of lack of precision. And then moving on onwards, then I will add back what is the gain that happens when we introduce robotics into this surgery. Does it sound good?
Yeah. So this is on the side of what we will gain out of the robotic. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the equation, or do you have the other side of the equation as well?
Okay. No, I just built this side. So what I understand, you want me to identify the other side of the equation, as in what the customers will be willing to do or willing to pay?
No, I think what you're talking about is what will we gain if we take the robots, if you purchase the robot. Okay. But if you're trying to take a business case, then we will also have to think about the implication of that, right?
Okay.
Financial implication of doing this investment.
Got it. So so if this is the part, this will give me the first part that I captured. This will give me what is the advantage that I'm getting. And to get this advantage, the implications will be two parts, right? The first will be the cost of operating this robotics. I'm just talking while I'm writing so that I can keep this in mind. The second will be the investment required for the robotics. And third will be what will be the less amount, that is the deduction that we will have to make in terms of by replacing the surgeons with the robotics. That's something that will be reduced.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Surgeon replacement or replacement of staff. Actually, it's not the surgeon who are getting replaced. It is the technicians which are getting replaced, but whatever. So that replacement actually should be on the gain side. Yeah. And not on the other side. Okay. So I think that's a pretty good equation that you're forming.
Okay.
Let me share some data with you. So this is the data that we have. And along with that, I'm going to share another data with you. Another data point that we have is buying a surgical robot will allow our client to hire 5 technicians less. Okay. And every technician in the hospital currently is costing us $60,000. When the robot is going to get used in the surgery, the hospital is estimating that they'll be able to make $300 per surgery more than it would have been done through a human intervention. Okay?
$300, it's per surgery, right?
Per surgery.
Got it.
So that's the data set that you have. Yeah.
And I'm just clarifying what I've heard again. The hospital can bring down the number of technicians by 5, right? And this is 5 technicians overall. It doesn't relate about each surgery, right? Like overall in a year.
It's staff reduction, basically.
It's a staff reduction. Got it. So perfect. So in order to, trying to solve this, I'm linking back to how I was building the equation. Delta increase in revenue will be, $300 per surgery. Now, do we have like the number of surgeries that we will be using through robotics? I cannot hear you, Gaurav. I think you're mute.
Can you see the chart properly?
Oh, okay, perfect. I didn't even look at the chart. Okay, good. So perfect. So way I say it, let me go through the chart again. And is there a cost associated with the precision, the change in precision? I'm guessing that the robotics is bringing in more precision.
Not really.
No. Okay, got it. So how I want to do it, Gaurav, is that now that I have that the number of surgeries that you can do in a year, and I'm assuming that they will utilize this entire number, then I can multiply it by the increased number of revenue. That will give me the revenue advantage overall in a year. And then I will go back to the cost side of it. And I will also add back the gains. And the gains will be, 60,000 per tech into number of techs. That will also give me the gain. And on the cost side, the implication side, as you put it, and this will have 2 components. I will think about the maintenance cost and the investment of $3.2 million. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. So let me do the numbers right. So it's $300 per surgery. We are doing number of surgeries as 2,000. So that's 2K. So the revenues total in a year that we will be getting is $600K. Now I will add back the gain through techs. Each tech is 60K. And so I will be saving 5. So it's 300K. So I will add 300K to it. So if I look into it, the gains that I will be having is 900K. Now this is one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is the maintenance cost. The maintenance cost is I'm assuming that's the only cost, that's 200K, and an investment of 3.2 million, right? So the way I look into it is that we are making 900 and with a cost of 200. And if I put it in a business term, the contribution margin will be over a year, 700K. Does it make sense? Now, if I have 700K per year, I'm linking it back to the success criteria that they have put in to break even. what I will do is that I get divided by the investment of 3.2 billion to understand when will they break. Okay, perfect. So it's 700K. So just looking at this number, it's almost like 4 is 2.8, so 4.5 years roughly. So if I look into it, it's 4.5 years. In 4.5 years, they will be breaking even, which qualifies this criteria. And also I had something in mind that it's already in operation for 6 months and 10 years, then it changed, but then for 4.5, it doesn't matter. So by looking at this number right now, I feel like it qualifies the success criteria that within 10 years, we will be breaking even by investing in robotics.
Very nice. We'll only do one analysis, Rishi. Super performance. Very nice.
Thank you.
Andre, back to you.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. This was really exciting. I mean, Rishi, I'm really surprised. So that it's only your 7th case. I mean, yeah, not bad. So over the past, I would say 40 minutes, you've learned the peculiarities about the Bain case interview. And just remember, so this was a real life case interview simulation from Bain from the first round. However, it didn't contain the personal fit part. So it was just an excerpt. And it also didn't contain the questions to the interviewer at the end of the interview. But you have seen how you could successfully pass the case part. What do you need to do? What are the most common mistakes which are done by the candidates? And how you can actually, what do you need to do in terms of making it to an offer with Bain? And most recently, Rishi and Gaurav, and thank you very much, guys, for doing this. You have just presented for us how you could crack that case and how it could be looking like. So from my side, I think you deserved an applause. So Rishi, please chill out. And my applaudissements for you. Well done, especially for your 7th case in your life. Really well done. And I think that if you really like what you have seen right now, you will also see that you will like even more, because now is the question. So what shall I do actually? And maybe some of you have seen The Matrix in its first version, the movie. Now I can offer you like 2 pills, like Morpheus. So in the one, you can still continue to prepare by yourself. You can search for additional information. You can try different application strategies. You can fail, you can learn, you can try again. And for sure, once in the future, you can basically make it to an offer on your own. But just keep in mind that in my case, it took 39 rejections to make it to consulting. And in Gaurav's case, Gaurav, how many times have you been rejected?
Probably 50 plus.
Yeah, you stopped counting. I'm pretty sure about that. So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you can also try it on your own. I mean, you can definitely make it maybe in 2 years or I don't know how long, but get ready to be frustrated, get ready to change your approaches multiple times and simply go for it and push for it. Or otherwise, we can also help you, offering you a blue pill of consulting masters where we can guide you through the entire process. And we've been candidates. We've been in your shoes 8 to 10 years back from now. We've been sitting also on the other side of the table, interviewing candidates like you, potentially part of the recruiting teams at Roland, Berger, at McKinsey, and Mark with Kearney. And now we are even coaching people. And we've helped so far 581 person to already get those offers. And one of the programs you could subscribe for, so for example, Fernando or Rishi, they have been part or Rishi is still currently a part of this program. We call it VIP Result Program. It's because we will be guiding you for the next 4 to maximum 6 months till the moment that you receive your job offer. Just imagine, how would you feel yourself the day that you receive an email from the HR of your desired consulting company saying something like, "Dear Diogo, it was a great pleasure meeting you last Friday. My congratulations, you totally made it and we decided to give you an offer. Could you please share your postal details as well as your address and confirm your entry date? Looking towards to hearing from you soon. Best regards, Maria, on the behalf of the entire HR team." Diogo, or Quest, or Alessa, or Roat, or Jenna, how would you feel that day? How would you feel the day that you finally receive a job offer from consulting?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this is exactly the deliverable of that program, because we will be giving you the access to our massive database with real interview experience from our past mentees. You will also receive all the personal mentorship, up to 25 personal sessions with our experts in the team to make sure that you feel comfortable at every stage of the interview and in the application process. You will also benefit hugely from our community, because Rishi and other Ts, they are part of a great community where they train together, together where they benefit from the knowledge and expertise of each other, and where we all pursue the most common goal for every one of us, where we help you to receive your job offers. And it's absolutely risk-free because we guide within the next 4 to 6 months is to receive your job offers. And most of our candidates start receiving their job offers already after 3 to maximum 5 months so far. But this is just in the nutshell one of our programs. We also have some other programs. And in order to figure out more about our offerings, just get in touch with that young lady with the lesser with a Christmas tree on the background, and she's more than happy to help you and assist you and let you know about further programs so that we can help you. And now you probably wonder, okay, is Rishin maybe something different? Or is Edward something different than me? Can I really do this? I mean, what is the guarantee that I can make it, especially nowadays with the COVID, with all this frustration? Is it expensive, or is it worth it, really worthwhile, this investment? I mean, it's huge, insane amount of money. Does it pay it off? And how much time do I need to prepare, especially with those people whom I don't know? And I just want to share with you some greetings from one of our recent alumni, from Ahmed, who came very scary to us. I mean, when he reached out to me in February, he was like on the brink because he completed his studies from one of the elitary university in London, and he applied to every consulting company and was not able to make it. And just listen to his story, what happened to him, because I think it speaks for itself. At this stage, I would just say shukran, Ahmed. It has been also a great pleasure to working with him. And I mean, we're still in touch. I was extremely happy to see how Ahmed was able to cope with all his fears, with all his doubts that he had. He was also in these webinars, maybe I think it was in March or April. He has bombed quite a few of them with me, but it also helped him to get ready for the actual interviews and receive the job offer. And I even spoke with his boss, with the managing director at EY-Parthenon in Middle East about him. And I was extremely happy to know that the entire team values Ahmed, that he came on board in a very good shape, and he's doing a great job, because this is probably the best gratitude for me to know that I have helped both Ahmed, but I also helped the company to find a really good candidate and a strong consultant. So that's what really motivates me. And that's why I just want to let you use the chance of this exclusive opportunity, because if you are really committed, if you really want to go into consulting, I have some really great news for you, because now is the best time to go for consulting. Consulting has been sleeping off recruiting for the last 1.5 years, especially due to the COVID. They have almost paused their recruiting, most of the firms. And now they have woken up and they're looking hungry for a candidate. So now is really the best time for you to apply, because the HR is like, I've been approached from so many friends and so many former colleagues from the HR from different companies, where they all say like, look, Andrea, do you have good candidates? Can you actually help us to find the right people? And that's exactly what we do, because we train you to become the right people for consulting companies and to make it to an offer. And we can only accept 10 spots for January. And if you really want to become that 1% out of all the candidates who apply for leading consulting firms, who not only apply, but who actually also gets the offer, then take the first step right now and book a call with Alessa to figure out what is your specific situation and how we can help you in your specific situation. So it's absolutely for free. It's like for the first 20 to 30 minutes. And Alessa is more than happy to help you, to assist, to screen your profile, to speak about your current situation, about your challenges, about your objectives, about the areas where you need help, and basically to help you out. So just now you can see the link to the calendar of Alessa. You can simply click on that link and figure out what is the comfortable slot this week or next week for you to have a call with Alessa. So thank you so much from my side, Alessa.
Yeah, thank you very much for this great webinar, for your warm words. And yes, guys, please book a call with me. I don't bite, you know me. And also, I would like, again, invite you to our social media. Please use this QR code to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So you can follow our interesting news about consulting, and also you can leave your comments. Okay, so we will be waiting for you. Now, finally, guys, we're going to do a Q&A sessions. So please, if you still didn't do that, leave your questions into the Zoom chat and we're going to answer them, okay? So use this great opportunity to speak with our coaches today. But actually, Andrea and Gaurav, I can see the questions. So from Diogo, do you provide some help in the McKinsey game?
Yes, we do. We also have tutorials to help you pass McKinsey Imbalance game, to help you pass BCG PST test, to help you pass Bain tests. There are multiple tests depending on your geography. So whether it's Europe, South America, US or Middle East, the tests may vary for BCG and Bain depending on the geography. We also can help you with Roland Berger test, Oliver Wyman test, and tests from all other leading consulting firms.
Thank you, Andrea. Another question from Oz. Is there an age limit for starting a consulting career?
I would say yes. You definitely need to be 22, 24 and having graduated from bachelor, and you shouldn't be retired yet, so you will be still in the working age actually. But of course, there are also some specularities. I mean, Fernando considered himself to be very old with, I think, 37 he was when he was applying for the job. And you see, he still made it with his 12 years of experience. So it's actually an individual decision, case by case. But Uz, if I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, otherwise I'm sorry, I think you still look like to be in the age group which is passing for consulting. So reach out to Olesa and you can discuss also your individual situation and simply click on the Calendly link.
Yep. I also saw that Anvish Gatu raised the hand, but then may probably changed mind.
I'm here. Thank you. Thank you, Alyssa. Just a quick question, Andrew. First of all, thank you for the session. I just wanted to ask, I was continuously on this. I've been following you guys as well. But one quick suggestion or your view that I wanted is, I've applied for MBBs and I got a rejection even before I got an interview for my first round around May. So it's been like 7 months. So when do you think would be the best option to try applying again? So just to add more information on that, it's been a year that I've started working again after my MBA, and I have like 6-7 years of pre-MBA experience. Thank you.
There is basically, I would say that we need to have a look into this in more detail. If you simply want to have a general advice would be to apply either 12 months after being rejected, or if you haven't been even invited to the test, or if you have been simply outscreened, then I would recommend you to apply through referrals. And if you are eager to figure out not only what to do, but how to do it in the right way, then reach out to Alessa and then let's have a call later on.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Then what shall I say? I would like to say a huge thank you to every one of you for showing up. Just take the first step right now and book a session with Alessa. And I want to really thank you today to Rishin for his courage of exposing himself as an interviewer and speaking in front of the people whom he barely know. I think, Rishin, applause to you one more time. And I also want to say a huge thank you to Gaurav for playing an interviewer, as well as to Olesa. Even though she broke her arm last week, she made it today. And Olesa, get well soon. I'm so happy to see a very lovely Christmas tree on your behind. And I wish you to recover very soon. And thank you very much for the entire team and for you guys for joining. Hope to see you very soon. Feel free also to register to the next webinar or to follow us in our social media. And I would really highly appreciate if you could write something in your social media and maybe tag Consulting Masters or myself or Gaurav or other members of the team. So how did you like it? Whether it was valuable for you? What have you learned out of it? Just to get also some feedback, because we're doing this webinar for you to help you to make it to consulting. So stay blessed. Happy Christmas season and hope to see you soon next week in the next webinar. Take care.
Thank you
very much. Bye-bye.